as the title might suggest, this is quite a personal broadcast. And some of you might say, why is this appropriate for some of the social media platforms that I'm going live on? If anyone follows anything I do, I always talk about being human focused and caring about the person in front of you. And I think that's relevant in business, massively relevant in business, because we're all humans and social media is humans. But, and I might stumble over these words because this is painful for me. So I was away last week and I saw some things pop up. I wasn't really connecting with social media and I wasn't following a lot of things. But the things I did see pop up was talk about abortion rights in the US. I haven't read all about it, which maybe I should have done before I did this live. But I just felt compelled to do this live anyway, and talk to you about my own choices in terms of babies and pregnancy. So this is like overshare of the century, but here goes. So I'm 42. When I was 17, I fell pregnant and I was doing my A levels with a plan of going to university. And didn't really have much of a plan beyond that, but just thought I'd go to university. And I remember, and again, talking about things like periods on social media, and certainly because part of this will be broadcasting to LinkedIn, people are like, oh my God, she said the period word. Yeah, so sort of just get with it, get over it. It's what makes us human. It's what makes me a woman, and it's what about half we'll be dealing with. So get over it. So my periods were all over the place when I was 17, incredibly painful, incredibly erratic. Could have one, then not have one for months. And anyway, I found out I was pregnant, and I was quite actually far along pregnant. And I remember the woman saying to me, little old me at 17, who thought she knew everything and knew absolutely nothing, I now realise with hindsight, congratulations, you're pregnant. There's no congratulations in it for me. It was like telling me that I'd got cancer. That's how I felt. Or telling me I had some horrific illness. And this is the bit where, there might be a lot of hate coming in from people, but I can't pretend anything else. And I just said, when can I book in for an abortion? And the woman looked at me as if I was broken. She was like, what? I was like, when can I book in for an abortion? This is not a positive for me. This is not somewhere I want to be. What can I do? When? And I remember it was just the week before Christmas. And I remember in the build up to that period, at the time, my step auntie was struggling to conceive a child and she had this perfect marriage. And all I kept hearing at the time was, and these kids that go and get pregnant and they've got no respect and they just don't care about what they're doing and they get them aborted. And I was laid on my grandma's living room hearing that conversation. It's actually making me want to cry now, thinking about it, thinking, just don't listen. Just, you know what you've got to do. You know what you have to do. And I made that choice. And I remember the day I went, didn't tell any of my friends, didn't tell any of my family. I just knew it wasn't for me. That's a lie. I told the man that I was in fact, that I was pregnant to, and told him never to call me again. So that's how generous and kind I was. He was like, oh, we can have this baby, and I was like, not a chance. I just knew I felt sick. So went into the hospital, had the operation, the procedure. And I remember the nurse saying to me, we've never known anything like you. You came round from the anaesthetic laughing and crying and thanking us. So it showed how much even in my sort of woozy state, it showed how much it mattered to me. Now, I know I'm telling you like a lot of my own personal stories, but there's a lot that resonated with me because in that room, when you're leading up to a termination, they send you to the hospital with all the other pregnant people that are happy to be pregnant and people that are asking you how far along you are and people that are in there that are having to terminate babies because their pregnancy isn't viable and they're heartbroken and you're there. It almost felt like a punishment. It almost felt like they wanted to really test if you wanted to do this. And ever up for a challenge, I was willing to push back and I was up for it. I had to do it. But that was hard. And then on the day, there was 4 women, including me, that was in the room. And the 2 girls across from me, I say girls because I felt like a girl, but they were much younger than me, which blew my mind. And then the woman next to me was with her partner and she broke her heart the whole time, because she was clearly one of those women who wanted this baby and was making a horrific choice. I don't even know if you can call it a choice when you're in that situation. And I remember feeling absolute heartbreak that I was giving something up that she would have been desperate to keep. And when I sort of think about somebody taking away that, because bear in mind what I'm talking about here is choice, and some of it's not a choice, even though it seems like it's a choice, but it's also incredibly personal. That even though for not one day have I regretted the choice that I made, because it was a choice, and thank God I had a choice. The thought of me having a 24-year-old now, the thought of me having even one day that I might have regretted having that baby, compared to, and it was a flip of a coin, because God knows I might have regretted not having it. But all I could do was trust myself in that moment and do what felt right for me. And not just for me, although, by the way, I think that's crucial. It should be the mother that chooses what's right for her body. And I know that's unfair to some men out there. I know some men are going, yeah, but we don't get to choose. A woman can take that choice away from us. I get that. I'm not saying it's the whole right answer, but it's my body. It's my body that's being picked and being dealt with. And I had to deal with my body going through what it went through as well. So don't think it's pain-free when people make these choices. And I've had, I'm 42 now, I was 17 then. I've never not thought of it. There's 2 dates every single year that I think of: the day I went in and the day that the baby would have been born in my head. So even though I don't regret that choice, and I'd stand by it, and I have stood by it, it doesn't mean it's painless, and it doesn't mean it's easy. And the guy that was pregnant, that the other half of the pregnancy, I'm not saying he doesn't think about it. I would never know, because I never saw him again. But I'm not sure he'll be the one on social media bearing his soul to some horrific decision he had to make, and then live with the consequences of it afterwards. And even though, you sit there and you think, maybe I can't have children now because what I did, the things that will go through a woman's mind, it's not an easy choice. But still, she deserves a choice. I can't get over that. There's somewhere in this world, the world that I live in today, and I know there's different cultures, I'm not talking about that, but America, whereby they think they've got a right to take away somebody's choice of how they deal with their body. And this isn't about pregnancy, because pregnancy can be stopped in a million other ways. This is about somebody taking away someone's choices and controlling them. I can't tell you the lengths I would have gone to have kept my choice back then. Dangerous choices. I would have taken, would have been nothing I wouldn't have done to being able to empower my own choice. And the reason why I wanted to do this is, I don't know if anyone who's watching can tell, it feels quite difficult. The reason I wanted to do it is because I've seen lots of posts on people talking about keep women having the ability to make a choice when a pregnancy is not viable. Fuck me, I can't even begin to imagine that. Wanting a baby that much and having to do that. All credit to those people out there that have the courage to do that and then somehow get back up again. But I had, as far as I'm aware, a viable baby and chose what I chose. A day doesn't go past that I don't think about it, but a day doesn't go past that I don't know it was the right decision for me in my life and for what I was here for. And woe betide anyone who would ever get in the way of me making that choice again, because it is my choice, is the point. And I just wanted to speak up for the women out there that have made a choice when it wasn't because the pregnancy wasn't viable, because we carry shame, and some will carry regret and embarrassment and almost like you're some horrific woman for doing this. And I just want to be able to say that you're not, and that I support your decision to make a choice. And any women that are in this position that might be going through it, you've got a lifetime of amazing things that are right for you. And thank God, in the UK, I live in a place where we've got a choice. We can't let this happen. We can't let women have their choices removed. because otherwise, let's sort of give men hysterectomy. Is it? Have I got this the wrong way around? Let's deal with men not being able to get women pregnant, because that's easily reversed. But nobody can talk about that, because that would be the most appalling thing to do to a human. But we can talk about doing it to a woman. I just think we need to have this conversation where we don't make women feel like horrible humans, and that we empower this conversation. So I thought I would share something incredibly painful. And by the way, it's not something I've ever hidden, just so you all know, but it's not something I've ever gone to social media on and spoken about either. But I'm not ashamed of the decision that I made when I was 17. I stand by it, and I'm relieved that I was empowered to be able to make it, and that there were services and doctors and nurses that were willing to hear me and take care of me. We've got to keep standing up for that. So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. Fucking hell. Never thought I'd share this on social media. But thank you, and apologies for people that don't swear. But if you know me, you shouldn't follow me if you don't like swearing. And now abortion. So thanks. Speak to you all soon. Bye. I can't even end you.